everyone, welcome back to Melissa's Kitchen Table. I'm Melissa and today I am going to do an unboxing. This company had sent this to me. They are inserts and accessories for the Instant Pot. So first I will show you what came in the box, and then I'm going to show you a recipe on how to use one of the tools. So it comes with a set of silicone gloves, so you could take the pot in and out with these gloves. So they have little hearts on them. I don't know if you could see that. Yeah, a nice set of gloves so you can take the Instant Pot in and out and you won't burn yourself. Next is, it's kind of like an egg muffin type tray. Sorry about that. Okay, so you can go ahead and in a separate bowl make an egg bake type thing and pour it into each one of these, and you would put this cover on it and follow the directions for the recipe on how long to cook it for, and then you get little egg muffins. So that's a really good thing to use. And then they have a cheesecake pan, which is what we're going to be using today. So this is a nice pan. The bottom comes out so you can easily remove it. Sorry about the background noise, my dog's playing. Then they have, I have this already, but this is actually a really good one. The one I have is just this bottom wrap, and you, to make hard-boiled eggs, you put your eggs in there, put it inside the Instant Pot, and it holds them for you. But this one's really nice because it has a little handle on it, so you can lift it out. Because I will say the other one I have is a little bit hard to get out. Usually I'll use tongs and take the eggs out. But this is a nice way to take all of it out at once. And then, oh, I moved it over here. And lastly is a steamer basket. Now I use this quite a bit. I really like this. It comes with the handles here. You just got to put them in, and it's to pull it out. And this is great to use for all kinds of things, especially if you don't want two items touching. So this is a really good product to have as well. This is one of my favorites to use. But like I said, today we're going to be using the springform pan, which I always call the cheesecake pan. So I'm going to go ahead, wash this, and then we'll get going on the recipe. Okay, so for the Instant Pot cheesecake, this is going to be your typical New York style cheesecake. I do have another video on a Japanese style cheesecake, which is very delicious, but this is your traditional Instant Pot New York cheesecake recipe. So for the crust, you're going to need 10 graham crackers ground, 3 to 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter melted, a pinch of salt, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and where do I, oh, here we go. I have my graham crackers here. So one sleeve of graham crackers is 9 crackers. I was not going to open another bag just for one thing of cookies or cracker or whatever. So I'm actually just going to put 3 tablespoons of butter. Now there's 2 ways you could do this for the Instant Pot. Well, to mash the crackers, you could put them in a food processor or just hit them with a mallet. So like I said, there's 2 ways to do this for the Instant Pot with the crust. One way is to pre-bake this in the oven like you normally would for your typical cheesecake. Or you can make all of this as we're going to do and put it in the freezer for about 20 minutes to harden up. And then you'll cook it in the Instant Pot all together. I opted to put mine in the oven. And here's my butter. And then we need 2 teaspoons of sugar. So I have a tablespoon here. I'm just putting a little bit less. And mix that all together. And I already have my, if you see any big pieces, just crumble them up. I already have my oven preheating for 325, and if you choose to cook the crust, you're gonna cook it for about 15 minutes. I happen to be using cinnamon graham crackers. You can use plain, you can use chocolate, you can use like Nilla wafers, you can use gluten-free graham crackers. So to get the pan set, we're gonna need some parchment paper. So I take a long strip of parchment paper for around it, and then enough to cover the bottom. And you will need scissors. Let me grab those. So I'm just folding the parchment paper in half, and then half again, and then again. And you're gonna go to the middle, out, and cut around. So that will hopefully fit the bottom. And it does, just like that. And then the other part, you just want to make sure it's tall enough to go around your cake like that. So I'm going to need another piece. And this one's a little bit tall, so I'm going to cut that a little bit. And you don't have to get super fancy with it. Alright. And I'm just going to cut both of them almost equal pieces. They're never going to come out perfect, and that's fine. Okay. And we will put one around here, and the other one around here. Actually, let me flip that so it's more flat on that side. Alright. So if you want to make this look a little bit better, you can make it match. Just go in and cut it down. No one's going to see this but you, so don't worry too much about it. So now you're going to put your crust inside here. So this is the fun part, because you really don't want to get it all over the place. So this is probably going to be the hardest part to do, but it'll be fine. Everything's fixable. Hopefully. Alright, so here we go. We already got it fixed. This is just so it comes out. Doesn't need to be perfect. So you can use whatever you want to build up your crust. It's a little hard to see because of the paper. But just like you would a normal cheesecake, you're going to go around. I just use a fist. It's always worked good for me in the past. And just build up the sides like that. And then you're gonna have to fill the bottom with a nice piece of crust. So just, you could use the bottom of like a cup. That would work too. So yeah, you just want it to look like that. And then I put this on a sheet pan and I put it in the oven just to pre-bake. And I put it on the sheet pan because it's easier to get out of the oven. Alright, so let me get this in the oven. And then in the meantime, we will go ahead and start our filling. So for that, you're going to need 2 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese, 2 large eggs, room temperature, 2/3 of a cup of white sugar, 1/2 cup of sour cream, room temperature, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 2 pinches of sea salt. So all of my stuff has been sitting out at room temperature. However, it's really cold here today, so I don't know how good my room temperature is, but it does say it's important to have it at room temperature. So I have my sugar over here, and I'll put this recipe down below too, so if you don't have the measurements, it's no big deal. So to my sugar, I'm going to add my cornstarch. Just give that a mix. And I'm going to put a little bit of salt in here. So 1-2 pinches. And then we are going to mix up our cream cheese. Gotta put my beaters on. Didn't want to go in. Alright, so I'm going to mix up my cream cheese on low. Add my sugar mixture. And I'm going to add my sour cream. Might as well add my vanilla now. So it calls for 2 teaspoons. I don't usually ever measure vanilla. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And we like almond extract, so I'm going to add a little bit of that. That's optional. You could add coconut, you could add peppermint, you could add anise, you could add whatever, orange, lemon. There's so many different extracts that you can use now. Alright, so mix that just a little. Then we'll go in and scrape down the bowl. Mix that good. So the key to a good cheesecake is you don't want to over mix it, which is why I'm using a hand blender instead of my stand mixer. And then we're going to add 2 eggs, 1 at a time. And these are also room temperature. don't want to add too much air into it, really, is why you don't want to overmix this. This isn't a light and airy type cheesecake. Like the Japanese cheesecake is more of light and airy. This is more of a dense cheesecake. And then we'll go ahead and add the second one in. I think I got everything else in. Scrape it down again. So this is really an easy recipe to make. And how great is it that you can make it right in the Instant Pot? Okay. All right, beautiful. And the other thing I like about this too is you could add different food colorings in here too if you want to make it for a birthday or anything, holiday, something like that. So the crust is going to come out of the oven, and I'm going to let it cool for about maybe 5 minutes. And then we'll go ahead and add this to it, and I'll show you when I do that. We'll be back. Alright, so we have our crust that I had cooled down here. Give this one little mix and then pour it in. This one you want to be a little more careful. Don't knock the sides down because this is wet, so that's going to be a little harder to clean up. But no big deal if you do. I mean, crap happens, right? All right. So we got that. Now, if you don't have a trivet for your Instant Pot or you lost it or whatever, you could just use your egg rack. That works great. So I put, and I'll leave a link down below to this stuff, to where I got this. They did send it to me, so I am doing the video for them. Okay, so I got my Instant Pot here. Oh, let me get my water. You need 1 cup of water in there. All right, and gently put this in. Let's see. Put that in. That'll go off to the side, and that's fine. So for the cover, you want to make sure your silicone ring is all the way down, otherwise it will not come up to pressure. You're going to put your lid on. You want to make sure this is in the sealing position. And then over here, we want this on manual. Mine's already on high pressure. If not, put it on high pressure. And we're going to do this for 26 minutes. Alright, so we're going to let that go. It'll beep to let you know it's started. Alright, so that's going. And then after the 26 minutes, you're going to let it do a natural release. So you're not a quick release, you're just going to leave it alone, and once that pin drops on its own, then you're all set to open it. You just want to make sure when you open it, you're very careful that you move the cover away quickly, because it's going to have condensation, and we really don't want that to get on the cheesecake. If some does, that's what happens, but we'll try not to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like as soon as that's all done. Okay, so here is the moment of truth. We're going to open it up really quick. So now what you want to do is this needs to completely cool down. So I'm just going to leave it in here, let it cool down completely. And then I'm going to stick it in the fridge overnight. It's way too hot right now to take out of here, but you could tell cheesecake is supposed to be a little jiggly in the middle. You don't want to overcook it because then it's going to curdle because it's all cheeses and egg. And so I'm going to let this completely cool down. And then, like I said, I'll put it in the fridge overnight. Tomorrow, I'll go ahead and cut it up, and I'll insert a picture of it at the end. And again, I'll insert a link to where I got these as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye. So just wanted to show you, this is after it sat all night. I'm just running a knife around, make sure nothing has stuck. And you just open it up, peel the paper off. And there you go. That is your traditional cheesecake. I'm just going to cut into it. So you can see, probably shouldn't be doing this on my stove, make a mess, but just want to show you guys. Trying not to get the paper on the bottom. There you go. Nice and creamy, just like a traditional cheesecake. And there was no cracks on the top. I know some people are worried about that. So for this, I serve it plain because that's how my family likes it, but you're more than welcome to put berries on it, or caramel, chocolate, strawberries, apples. There's so many different ways you could serve this, but it is really delicious. And I hope you guys try it. If you do, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how it turns out for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe and share, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.